Well, now September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and just one diagnosis of this will affect not just a child for his or her entire life, most likely, but also that child's family, many of them having no idea what is headed their way. Here with more on childhood cancer, and particularly what is being done here in Albuquerque at the University of New Mexico Hospital to make things better for patients and their families, we have Dr. Stuart Winter and Dr. Rick Harvey. Good morning. Thank you to both of you for coming in. So let's first talk about what advances are being made, particularly with you two and the doctors at the UNM Cancer Center, particularly to help children.
So there are two kinds of advances being made, and one of them is in the identification of features that help us to better treat a leukemia, and then the second major advance is new drugs that are coming along that are really potent and work well against leukemia.
Okay, first thing. Two types of leukemia that you two are fighting. Can you break down really simple what the differences are?
Sure. Both are a type of acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and Dr. Harvey does a lot of work with one called B precursor leukemia. It's the most common. And then I do a lot of work with another type called T lineage acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
Okay. Either way, they're not good for children.
That's correct.
Okay, so you talk about the advances. Doctor, what have you been doing? You've been doing a lot of research here to make a difference.
Yes, with Dr. Willman's group at UNM, we've been in working with the childhood cooperative cancer groups to do
Yeah, they're around me, not you two gentlemen.
to improve the diagnosis. So we knew a certain category of children responded very, very poorly, and we didn't know why. So studying those further, we've now identified a reason that those children do poorly, and it's actually targetable. So the children who did the absolute worst before, we've now seen there are drugs that specifically will cure those children and also carries over into young adults.
And I imagine this makes a big difference because now it's not this kind of a guessing game as to, okay, what drug, what type of therapy is this child going to respond to? And they may have to go through it for months before something would actually work.
Yeah, the biggest advance is targeted therapy. And targeted therapy is you don't just treat them all the same. You identify specifically what went wrong and you give the appropriate drug to treat that.
And if I could just interject, Dr. Harvey's group has helped us identify new tests that can be done within days of diagnosis that help inform which targeted therapies we should be looking at. And this has been one of I think the biggest advances of the 21st century.
In all of medicine and childhood cancer being done by you two gentlemen and some others right here in New Mexico.
That's correct. But again, as Dr. Harvey said, we're part of big team science, and so we happen to work at the University of New Mexico, but we have collaborators all over the world that are working on these projects.
And I think you two joined together to work on something with some rare mutations as well, correct?
Right, and I wanted to talk about a story that I think is particularly poignant. And we were working with a 16-year-old man who developed B precursor acute lymphoblastic leukemia, had a very hard time getting into remission, even with our best drugs. And he relapsed, which means the cancer came back. And we asked Dr. Harvey to help us understand what type of leukemia he had. And Dr. Harvey gave us some suggestions to look for a very rare type of molecular translocation that we found in this patient. And then we were able to start a targeted therapy for it. But Matt, one of the big challenges that these patients face is that there are no safety data in children or people less than 18. And so getting approval from the insurance company to give these targeted drugs was quite difficult. And thanks to the Children's Cancer Fund, we were able to actually purchase the drug that helped to secure this young man's remission. And we were eventually able to get insurance approval, but it took a community of people working together to try to advance medicine in this particular person's case. And I'm just super proud of the fact that we have these people to work with, research scientists, clinicians, and community members that all really care about our patients in New Mexico.
Yeah, without a doubt, we have a great cancer center here, great doctors, great researchers, and so much more. Bottom line, Dr. Harvey, how much better off are kids today, thanks to the work that you all have done at UNM and cancer researchers all across the country than, say, just 5 or 10 years ago?
Oh, dramatically. The kids' cures back 5, 10 years ago were probably 60%, and now they're up 80, 90%. It's closer to 90% of the kids that are cured now. And the last 10% is a group we're focusing on.
I was going to say, what's it going to take to get it to 100?
Yeah, that's our goal. And not only the ones that are cured now, but cure them with fewer side effects. And so target so the kids respond better, they have better lives, productive lives afterwards.
No. Thank you, Dr. Stuart Winter, Dr. Rick Harvey. Thank you both for being here. Thank you for what you do to help children with cancer. Thanks for sharing it this morning. You want to find out more about what they do, head to KRQE links. Everything is right there. We'll be right back.